Hi again, everyone. I hope you're all doing really well. Tilray, which is perhaps one of the most watched stocks in the medical and cannabis space, is set to release their August quarter earnings pre-market on Thursday, the 7th of October, 2021. Naturally, given the buzz that has surrounded the stock for much of the year, it has got a lot of people curious to see how the company is going to perform. So in this video, we're going to have a brief look at some of the mumblings and rumblings leading into the results, as well as look at some of the technical trends which have been emerging around the stock lately. So let's get into it. For me personally, I've been looking at a range of cannabis stocks for several years. However, my investing experience has been limited to companies listed in Australia, which has developed a number of companies with different offerings, but none have managed to achieve the scale of Tilray despite them generally having access to the same markets. Obviously, having direct access to the Canadian market has been a huge advantage for Tilray given the differing laws. Anyway, Tilray has been able to emerge as perhaps the biggest player in this space based on their revenue and the market cap they've managed to grow to. And Tilray has certainly been acting like a company of that sort of scale, with a range of developments in the last quarter which are likely to shape the upcoming earnings. These developments include making sales to a new market in Germany, the acquisition of Aphria, who were the owner of Sweetwater Brewery, as well as having their own medicinal cannabis business. So some promising expansive moves to add to the continued growing momentum the company had experienced with its growing sales revenue from its cannabis products, as well as the continuation of cost-saving synergies that they have been planning and working towards in recent times. So it all does paint quite a rosy picture for the company heading into these earnings results. However, despite this raft of positive developments, there is a mixed bag of expectations around whether or not they can beat earnings for the quarter. The website Green Entrepreneur wrote that they are not expecting Tilray to beat earnings this quarter and provide a current Zacks rank to sell the stock. However, this is just one analyst. By using Refinitive's machine-generated earnings preview, we can get an understanding of the moderated view of 14 major analysts covering the stock. That's what we have on screen. So they've averaged out that they're expecting to see $172.6 million in revenue for the quarter. And on average, they're expecting to see a loss of 8 cents per share. Based on the different brokers, there is a overall consensus to hold, and that is actually also backed up by my brokerage app, which out of 20 gives it a hold rating as well. Obviously, the vast majority here are in there. Only one actually has a sell rating. And over the last 3 months, the mean earnings estimate of analysts has risen by 5.4%, and there is now a $14 price target, which is about a 23% premium on the current share price, which isn't $10.74 anymore. Last quarter, Tilray actually beat earnings expectations. So there are some interesting moderated expectations around the stock. On average, I think this paints a better expectation for these earnings than what Zacks is providing. But looking at the spread of analysts with their ratings and how they view the stock, it really is a mixed bag, with the majority taking fairly neutral positions to hold. In terms of the $14 12-month price target, represented by this blue line, Tilray has been on a slide in recent times and has actually spent a large part of the calendar year above the $14 mark. So if you happen to buy into the stock when it was at a more elevated level, then this perhaps is not the most pleasing outlook. However, if you do think that the $14 price target is fair, then this is presenting a pretty decent upside from where the stock is currently priced at $11.09, representing close to a 20% increase over 12 months. So at this price point, we do have a potential buying opportunity if this is a stock you're interested in. Zooming out on the charts, from a trend analysis standpoint, following the meme mania the stock experienced earlier in the year, it would appear that this wedge shape forming in the series of lower lows and lower highs has the stock on course for some sort of breakout moment. I think this trend prospect is adding to the hype over this upcoming results release, as I believe it will have a bearing for what way the potential breakout is likely to be if there is one. But in saying that, it's important to remember the current macro conditions the market is facing at the moment. Optimism is down, and this could quickly mute any upward movement the stock could see on the back of these results, or magnify any downward movement that could be experienced. So you've got to keep that in mind as well. So some final thoughts. I think Tilray has a bright future ahead as a company as they continue to establish themselves as a market leader in a space which is only set to get larger globally. There seems to be a real mix of expectations around what their August earnings release will look like during pre-market on Thursday. So I really don't know what to make of all of this. Those that are bullish want to see the company achieve better than a non-GAAP 8 cent per share loss and see a stronger revenue figure posted than $172 million. based on the analyst consensus that is being forecast, and I believe that whatever side the results fall on will probably influence what way a potential breakout is going to go. Longer term, I believe Tilray is going to continue to grow, and therefore I think the increased revenues as well as the expected savings they are looking to achieve are going to drive the company forward and deliver better shareholder value longer term. As such, I think the current price mark of $11.10 could represent a good buying opportunity longer term, regardless of how the stock responds to the August earnings results. Anyway, what do you guys think about Tilray? Are you expecting to see continued positive momentum with these August results? Where do you think the stock value is going to be in the longer term? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, everyone, may the markets trade in your favor. Cheers.